I went to the back.
Unfortunately, give us some credit up here.
All right, hello everybody. It's so good to have you here. My name is Scott Laird. I'm the piano and guitar instructor here. And everyone's registered for classical piano and guitar. This is C block. Everybody in the right place? I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have my online students here as well. In this C block class, we're going to incorporate our online students into this class, and it's really, I think, an exciting and fun thing. This will be the first time that we've ever had a music class that had both online students and residential students. One of our goals for this is to integrate the personalities, the people together, and we're really beta testing this idea to see if, when we open up the Morganton campus, if we can have classes that would involve all three campuses together. So we were thinking this is one of the ways that the fine arts program can be a sort of a beta test for how we could connect these communities together. So, online folks, I want you to know that this isn't going to be seamless and perfect this trimester. It's going to be, might be a little sticky, but we're going to figure it all out together. And I want you to know that you're part of something new and part of something that I think is exciting. And it's me sort of stepping out on a limb a little bit to do something different. So that's where we are with that. And I might talk to you guys this way a little bit today, and we'll bring everybody into the same place. So everyone's clearly in the right place. This is classical piano and guitar. I like to always start this class in this way. If you are a beginning guitar or piano student who knows nothing about music and just wants to learn how to play an instrument, you're in the right place, okay? If you are an advanced piano player who is preparing for a big statewide competition in December, and you really need the practice time, and this class is that for you, you're in the right place. And if you're a kid who was maybe a band or an orchestra kid, and you took a lot of music in middle school, and then you went to high school and you thought, boy, I better take a lot of AP courses so I get into NCSSM when I'm a junior, and you kind of let your music go, and this was an opportunity to do something in music when you haven't done it for a while. That's a story I hear a lot in this class also. You're in the right place, okay? You probably can't come up with a musical background story that doesn't match up with me, okay? The goal of this class is for you to learn piano or guitar for at least a trimester and to be better when you walk out than you are right now. That's what we're trying to do. We want to make you a better musician. So if that matches up for you, you're in the right place, okay? So that's always an important way to start the class and get things going. I have a couple little things I want you to do right off the bat to get to have all the resources and materials that you need. This is my Google Classroom site, and I would like everyone to register for my Google Classroom. So if you go to classroom.google.com and use the class code that is up there in the left-hand corner, 4S9CA79, that will get you into this class. So please go ahead and do that right now. Online students, I'd like you to do that as well. Just while they're doing that, online folks, you will find that all of the assignments will be submitted through Google Classroom. It's just a really good clearinghouse for me. And some of those assignments are already even up there, but really I'll be making that more clear as we go. In terms of turning stuff in, residential students really won't turn anything in at Google Classroom. This becomes more of a clearinghouse for resources. So just know you'll use it for sure. If anyone's having trouble, feel free to ask each other and help out.
Is that a 0 then an O? Where's the O?
I see 4S9CA79.
Okay, that didn't work.
Try it again.
4S9CA79. Join. Code isn't valid.
4S9.
Lowercase s and CA?
Yep.
Any spaces?
I don't think so. It worked for some.
Yeah, mine work here.
I don't think I typed any.
Let's try again.
Are you logged into your NCSSM email account?
Yeah, I didn't have any problems in the last class.
And those probably wasn't logged into my email account.
Okay. It's working for you all? Great. while you're in there, if you, on a computer, this little arrow gets you sort of like an about section. And I think on a phone, there's a little eye in the corner. If you could click on that and scroll down pretty far, you're going to find an academic honesty link. And here at NCSSM, for virtually every class, you're going to have to sign an academic honesty statement. My academic honesty statement is our school's standard policy. I have yet to figure out how somebody can be less than academically honest playing an instrument. So it's really not an issue in this class, but I have to get everybody's agreement to this. So please, this is just our standard policy. Scroll down, click piano and guitar, and any other music courses you are taking this term. And pop your name in and click that you understand the policy. The arrow down.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, not
Okay,
that far.
But like right here, and
There
then.
you go.
Okay.
Just click on that.
So it's
And it's just an electronic form. Okay? And those are nuts and bolts that I just have to get done for class. Oh, didn't mean to go there. Meant to go to classroom. There we go. Okay.
but has anyone ever found out a way to cheat in a music class?
Well, I think first of all, no, I've never had I've never had an academic honesty issue. I think the one way someone could is maybe when we take the exam. But you guys, I mean, come on, you guys are you'll learn the material. I'm not worried about it. Be honest, we're good. I don't mind collaboration, by the way. I don't mind musical collaboration, or if you're working on a homework assignment and you don't understand something and you want to call a friend who you know hasn't locked in. I don't mind that. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Okay. I want to go through our role now. Online students, we're going to include you. Now, in this, we're going to have. I'm just going to. I don't want to spend too much time with a get to know you kind of thing today because we've done so many of them over the last couple of days. But that being said, I do want to make sure I start to get faces and names put together. And online folks, you will see by the end of the day today, you will see a little assignment put up where I ask you to do the same thing. An under 1 minute video, give us your name, where you're from, why you registered to take the class, and just let us get to know you just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little 1 minute video because we're going to incorporate you in the class as well. So we'd love to have that. But let's go through this class so I know who is here. So quickly, your name, where you're from, why you took the class, and if you know that you want to play guitar or piano, we only do one during a trimester, let us know, and I might ask you a question or two about that. So let's go backwards through the rules since I went forwards the last time. Where's Sophia Zhu? Oh, yes. You're my oboe player too, right? Awesome. Great. Sophia, tell us about yourself.
So I'm Sophia. I'm from like around Charlotte, and I guess I took this class just because it's been a while since I played piano, and I wanted to get back into it.
Awesome. So you have some piano skills.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Okay. Very good. Caroline Zhang.
Oh, okay. So hi, I'm Caroline. I'm from Chapel Hill, and I guess I took this class because I haven't played for a while and I really want to like start again.
Great. Wonderful, Caroline. Welcome. So this is piano and starting again.
Yeah.
So do you still remember a lot of stuff or?
Yeah, like I quit like pretty recently.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Are any siblings come to this school?
No.
Okay, I've just had a lot of Zhangs from Chapel Hill over the years.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, I wonder if it's somebody that I had their brother or sister here in school. Wonderful. Okay, it's great to have you here. Oh, you're a senior too.
Yeah.
I just didn't meet you last year. Did we meet last year at all?
I think like maybe one.
Okay,
just briefly.
just speaking briefly.
Yeah.
All right, Caroline, great. Jada Target?
Yes. Hi. I'm Jada. I'm from Winston-Salem. I took band for 4 years. I played the trumpet, and I have a piano in my room, and I'd like to know how to play it.
Great. So you're a beginning piano player.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What school in
Atkins.
Atkins? Okay, great. Joseph Sievers.
Hi, I'm Joey. I'm
Joey.
from Morganton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I guess I just took this class
class because I wanted to continue playing guitar aside.
Guitar. So you have a little bit of experience, Joey.
Yeah.
Great. Have you been playing a long time?
No.
Okay. Very good. Jackson Mead.
Hello, I'm Jackson. I'm from South Charlotte, and I am in this class to strengthen my reading ability with piano.
Awesome. I'm really glad you're in the class, Jackson. Nice to see you. Lillian Manning.
Hey, I'm Lillian Manning. I'm from Greenville, and I'm trying to learn how to play the piano.
Awesome. Beginning piano student. Yes?
Mhm.
Beginning? Okay, great. Cool. Bryson Laughlin.
Hi, I'm Bryson. I'm from Rowan County, and I've always wanted to play the piano, but I've never committed to it, so I figured this would be a good way.
This is your opportunity. Very good. Karina Lay. Is that pronounced right? Great.
Hi, my name is Karina. I'm from Cary, and I'm in this class because I need extra practice time for the piano and also to get better at theory.
Wonderful. And you have a teacher?
Yes.
Beautiful. And several years of instruction? Good. Wonderful. Ashlyn Joshi?
I'm Ashlyn. I'm from Concord. I'm taking this class because I used to play, but I quit a couple years ago, so I kind of want to get back into it.
Piano?
Yeah, piano.
Great. Alexa Dwamo?
Hi, I'm Alexa. I'm from Lake County, and I took this class because I want to get back into it.
So you play a little bit piano?
Mhm.
Awesome. Not surprised. Alexa's also in orchestra. I voted for you, by the way. I did the.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Tell the class about the thing. I thought that was so cool. Have you seen the results yet?
Yeah, I didn't make it though.
Oh.
It's fine.
But tell them what you did.
Okay, so this Korean broadcasting station had a video contest over the summer, and you had to insert a video about like what you find Korea in like your surroundings, and I got into the top 12. But
Yeah, it was pretty cool though, and they were all really good, weren't they?
yeah, they were all really good.
It was really cool. Oliver Clodfelter.
Hi, I'm Oliver. I am in this class because I want to learn piano. I have a very small amount of guitar experience that I did not like, so.
So getting started on piano.
Mhm.
Awesome, Oliver. Glad to have you. I know I won't say this quite right. Karwaki Babu?
Karwicki.
Karwicki, okay.
Yeah.
And you go by Karwicki?
Yeah.
Got it. Beautiful.
I'm from Concord, so like really close to Charlotte.
You guys know each other?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We went to the same school.
Nice.
Yeah, and I took this class because I've been taking piano for a long time, and I don't want to lose it. And I know if I didn't take it, I probably wouldn't practice.
Great. So you've been playing piano.
Yeah.
Great. Very good. And are you going to keep your private teacher?
No.
No. You're just going to keep forward, so you keep playing and keep doing what you do. I love it. And is it Liddy?
Lighty.
Liddy, and say your last name.
Ata O's.
Say again.
Ata O's.
Ata O's. I love it. Okay, Liddy, Ata O's. I know you'll have to remind me of that.
That's really good.
Okay, Liddy, it's nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Lighty. I'm from Charlotte-ish area. And I took this class because I just want to like keep up piano.
So you already play?
Yes.
Great. And same thing, are you maintaining your private teacher?
I'm not taking lessons.
You're not going to take lessons, right? So here's how I usually, categories are hard because they're usually wrong, right? They're not quite exact. But beginning players, you're simple, right? Because if you come in sort of blank slate, I know where to start you and where to go and what the expectations are. Sometimes the most advanced players are kind of simple, especially if you have a private teacher, because if you have a private teacher and they're giving you stuff to work on, I sort of step back and I get out of the way and I let you practice your private lesson music when you're in here. For those of you that are more of what I would call intermediate players, people that have some experience, but not worlds and worlds of experience, or have left your private lesson situation recently, little trickier, because early in the year, I want you to find, and we talked about this a little bit in the summer, I want you to find your sweet spot, which would be the place where you're learning repertoire that is not technically too hard for you, but challenging enough that you're engaged in it. You know what I mean? And remembering that this isn't private lessons. I've got really effectively almost 20 people with our online students to deal with in this time. So it's really moving forward with my guidance. And so finding that sweet spot is really, really important. It may take us a week or so to make that occur, but we'll find you the repertoire that you need to learn and advance on a daily basis. And I would say, trust me and we'll get you there, okay? Your advancement is my #1 goal. And online people, you're not really part of that because you're, I know, all beginning guitar players, and you'll follow my beginning guitar curriculum right from the very beginning. Now, I find the best way to talk about this class and just kind of orient you to the class is to go through my course expectations, my syllabus. It means that I'll do a lot of talking for the next half hour or so. So I apologize in advance for that. It usually ends up that we have about 2 full class periods of this, sitting, listening, getting information, and then by the 3rd class period, we're making music. So if you can get me that, be patient, get me that far, and then class really becomes more like a workshop every day. It's not a sit and listen class. It's a sit and play music class, okay? Great. So with that in mind, I'm going to scroll to, and just so you can see where it is, in that same area of this, you will see, wait, I gotta find it, my course description, goals, and expectations. So I'm gonna click on that, and you'll get, and you can just follow along on the screen, and my online students will be able to see this on the screen. Just lots of information, and it gives me an opportunity then to tell you the things I know that you need to know. This course, if you notice the course numbers, 312, 314, 316, each of those represents a different trimester. You can take this course 1 time, and that's all, or you can take it 6 trimesters if you wanted to, from your junior to senior year. It's what we call repeatable for credit. So it's really all about you investing in it if you want to, or just getting a little bit if that's what you want. And it's all good, or depending on what fits in your schedule. My information is below that. No worries on that. You can access it if you need it. It's a 1 trimester class. The first paragraph there, music is a basic human need. You can read that on your own time. It really just is sort of that notion of why anyone takes music, you know, so there's a couple of words there. It's really the second paragraph I care about, that this course is a comprehensive study of instrumental music through piano and guitar. It's largely self-paced. In other words, we're never going to come into class and everyone's together and I go 1, 2, ready, go, and we all play together. That's just not what we do in here. I'm aware, how many of you have ever had to sit in a class and you got the information, but you had to wait for somebody else to understand and know the information? Every single one of us have done that, right? That's why you came to science and math. You don't want to do that anymore. Well, I agree with that. So I've built this class in a way that if you're just flying through repertoire, you can fly through repertoire. Or if you come in with more experience than somebody else, you can go at a different level. Or if you come in with less experience than somebody else, you can take the time to really internalize it. I want everyone to learn at the level where you are. So that's why the class is built the way it is. It's largely self-paced. It provides you the opportunity to learn music literature and performance practice of one of these 2 instruments. We will select. You don't do piano and guitar in the same trimester. Some people say, but I want to learn both. Then take piano this try and guitar next try. You know what I mean? And that's fine as well. You will learn playing technique, note reading, chords, harmony, rhythm, and pitch at your level, depending where you are. I'm not going to sit down and teach notes to somebody that's been taking piano lessons for 10 years. You're going to be working on your repertoire and some music theory, and that's what happens. Choose one of the other instruments. Here's what it includes. Written, we'll be learning music, we'll be performing, but we'll also have some written music theory assignments, 1 a week to be exact. We will have an exam at the end of the trimester on the music theory that you learn. And you'll also have 2 recitals in class for the class. And online students, you'll participate in those recitals either in real time or via video. So we'll get you squared away on that as well. No prerequisites. All levels of experience are eligible. We've made that point clear. And you can repeat this course as many times as you want over 6 trimesters. Any questions? Everybody got that? Good. Next paragraph. The texts in the course vary. So let me explain what you've got. If you're a beginning piano player or close to beginning. Little bit of experience, don't really remember a lot, wanna fill in some gaps, then your book is the Bastian Older Beginner Piano Method, Book 1. That book is available through the textbook room down in the cafeteria, okay? You can pick that up at any time. If you're a beginning guitar player, that includes anyone starting guitar here or close to starting, as well as all my online students. That book is a packet of materials that I have put together. It's available. I will hand it out here in class. I will send it to my online students so that you've got those books. It's very clear what you'll do. It's sequential, and you'll understand how it goes. But I will give you that material, that book. If you are an intermediate or advanced player on your instrument, then it gets a little trickier. If you've got a private teacher, my recommendation is that in here you are using the music that your private teacher is assigning. That's what you'll be doing. I think you're the only one, right? Anyone else have a private teacher besides, tell me your name? Karina. So, and you do though, right? Yeah, so, and that's what you intend to do. Right, okay, great. So the others, you've got some choices. Down in my textbook room in the cafeteria, I've got a mass of piano music. I've got everything from what I would consider to be sort of next step intermediate music to kind of the most advanced repertoire. I have anthologies of piano repertoire. I don't know anybody's level that's beyond a beginner. The beginners, I know your level, but the intermediate folks, I don't. Here's what I usually recommend, is that you go down into the textbook room, ask to look at the piano music. Well, you have two options. You can use the books you already own if you just want to continue where you were and are, or you can go down if you want kind of a fresh start. You can look at those books and go from there. Here are a couple general rules. I would always recommend that you start easier than you think you need to, okay? And just kill it. Learn a piece of music, play it for me, knock it out of the park, and have me go, wow, we ought to bump that up a little bit in terms of difficulty. Rather than selecting something that's really difficult and fumbling around. I don't want any of you to select music that's going to take, like you've got one piece and it's going to take all trimester to learn that piece. That's not what I want in this class. For this class, I want you to, for my most advanced players that don't have a private teacher, I want you to think, what can I learn in about 2 weeks? Maybe 3 weeks. What can I learn in that amount of time that I can really polish it and make it really good so that I'm adding repertoire to what I know? What I don't want is midterm to roll around, we have a recitaling, and you say to me, I don't have anything to play, Mr. Laird, nothing's ready. Nothing's performance ready at midterm. That's 5 weeks away, it's not very long. So what I'd rather is you to have something that's performance ready in 2 weeks, and then for the 3 weeks after that, you're playing it once a day just to kind of really polish it so that when you sit down to play in the recital, it's just kind of second nature. You know what I mean? So I want you to think along those lines because that's how I think in terms of learning music, okay? Now, for individuals, if you're going, I'm not sure what that is for me, then we'll talk. And we'll try to out-direct you. If you're a person with 1 to 2 to 3 years experience, I have books that I would recommend. If you are a person with 10 years experience, you've played competitions, you've got some other stuff, I have different books I'd recommend, right? So on next week on Monday, we might do a little bit of individual interaction for me to recommend some stuff. You don't have to run down and get books this weekend. I don't care if you wait till next week. We can even do it during class time next week if you like, okay? Now, before I go on, are there any questions or concerns about that? Are you going, anybody going, uh-oh, not sure, not feeling good about this? Okay, we all good? Okay, great. So that's what I have to say about texts. Everybody will complete the music theory curriculum. Has anybody passed AP music theory in the room? Okay, probably with maybe one exception or two, probably everyone's going to do my theory curriculum from the very beginning. It's, I have a very fast-paced theory curriculum that I have built for smart students, okay? It's built for bright kids that may or may not have had any music up till now. But I promise you that you will learn theory from me, a lot of it, as we go through, in a way that's very palatable and really kind of makes sense and requires really no prior musical background. I find that it just kind of works for everybody. So unless you're going, boy, my private teacher taught me a lot of music theory, maybe I shouldn't do the first trimester of theory, in which case I'll let you take the exam and sort of, if you ace the exam, then we'll push you to the next level, okay? So we'll get you where you want. I don't want anyone wasting your time. But sometimes my more advanced students like to take the theory from the very beginning to fill in little gaps in what you know. My first trimester includes all major scales, all key signatures, all 3 versions of all minor scales and their relationship to the major scales, all intervals, major, minor, diminished, and augmented, and inversions of all intervals. So if you've taken some music theory and you're going, oh wait, I know all of that stuff, then maybe you should see me. And if you go, I've heard of all of that stuff, but I'm not sure I can apply it all, then you should just take the first trimester theory and really learn it well. I promise you'll know, everybody in the room, when I say that on the last day of class, you'll go, oh, I know all that stuff. That's great. Okay? Good. The next sentence, intermediate and advanced piano guitar students select repertoire from the textbook room. This last sentence of that paragraph, all students will pursue a sequential and systematic series of performance pieces from selected repertoire. What is that saying? Well, if you study from a book, like my beginning book, it's sequential and systematic. You learn something, and then you take whatever you learned in that one and you apply it to the second one, but there's a new skill added on. And then you get the third lesson and there's a new skill added on, but it sort of builds on your previous experience. That would be sequential and systematic. So if you're kind of an intermediate player, I have a number of books that I really like that employ that idea. I have the Bergmuller Progressive Studies, which are lovely songs that teach techniques in a systematic and sequential way. I have a book by a guy named Gillick that's a little more difficult. I have all kinds of books that are sequential and systematic at a variety of levels, okay? And so I prefer my piano students with some experience working from these sequential books as opposed to sort of picking and poking and pulling, oh, I always wanted to learn Moonlight Sonata, and maybe I want to learn a piece by Chopin. That might be appropriate for you, but I think it's probably more appropriate to do something that's more systematic than that. But everyone's different, so I'm always open to learning. By the way, I mentioned Moonlight Sonata. One of the reasons I think about that one is I had a student last year who came in, kind of had always wanted to play Moonlight Sonata, and they were one of the students that at midterm didn't have anything to play because it was like too big of a work. They just couldn't pull it off in the period of time. Some people are faster than others, yes, but in the end, it kind of is matching up your skill level with whatever your sort of your strengths and your deficiencies are, and the whole idea is to get better. So I'd love to see you get better through learning repertoire that's a little shorter so we can zero in on whatever those kind of deficiencies are, make you a better musician. That's really the goal for all of this, okay? Good. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Okay, let's keep going. Okay. All music theory and beginning guitar and piano assignments can be accessed. Looks like I have a misprint there. Let's make it past tense. May be accessed via the Classical Guitar and Piano website. And now I'm going to go back to this. Here's my classroom page that we were on. And if you scroll down till you see Piano and Guitar, Scott Laird's class page, you click on that, so everything can be accessed through Classroom. I'm going to give you a packet of documents on Monday. That's the documents, but you can get more if you need them. But really what I want you to notice is this link to piano videos, beginning guitar videos, and theory videos. So for all of the stuff that you do, if you're a beginning piano player and you were to click on, let's see what this is. Oh, that's the theories. Let me go back to this. If you click on the piano videos, you will see, internet's running slow here. You'll see that I simply have a list of all of the assignments for piano and an associated video. So, for instance, the piano introduction for beginners is right there, and if you click on it, you'll get a much younger me. I made these videos a long time ago, so I apologize. I don't have my speaker hooked up. But you'll get a much younger me. Hi, and welcome to your first piano lesson as part of the NCSSM Classical Piano and Guitar course. I'm excited to begin showing you how to play the piano, and through this first introductory lesson, I don't know what's going on with that. I think the internet's wacky today. You'll get some of the basics of the piano, and then we'll get right into learning songs. But that would be my introduction to playing piano. And then every one of the lessons has an associated video that you can access through those links. I strongly recommend beginning piano players and beginning guitar players that you always look at that video, because I also go through like common mistakes that people make, you know, and so it just saves time. I'm all about being efficient and learning stuff in an efficient manner while we're in here. So that's the way that's going to work, and all of those are always on YouTube. And by the way, we've got beginning piano videos. We've got a link. Yeah, all of the internet is going insane here today. I'm going to have to get a note in. We've got beginning guitar videos, and we've got music theory kind of lectures, right? So on the music theory stuff, I explain the music theory for this week. I recommend that everybody watch it, because there also are pitfalls that you will everybody misses some stuff. And if you take the 10 minutes that it takes to watch my video each week, it'll save you probably double that. It'll save you time, and you just kind of run through the stuff and learn the skills. That makes sense to everybody? This is what some people call a flipped classroom, right? That you can get content. By the way, I fully anticipate that you would do this in class. So I would encourage everyone to bring a laptop or a phone, headphones, and do this in class. People ask me this all the time. Is this homework? How's it work? If you have a laptop in class and you're accessing my videos in class, I love it. I've had this weird experience where I've walked around the class and I can hear myself giving like 10 different lectures at the same time, or 10 different lessons at the same time. It's a kind of cool thing, to be honest with you. I encourage that. Some of you may never have to do any work outside of the 3 class periods a week time. If you decide today, man, I'm just not feeling practicing the piano, I want to do theory homework, do it. As long as you're working on music when you walk into this place, great. I would say that the majority of students use all 3 class periods for practice time while you're here, and most people do the theory assignments as homework, okay? But I'm not saying you have to do that. It's just a matter of you deciding how you're using your time. And my role during class will be to interface with you individually on a regular basis. My goal is always that you and I have 5, 10, 15 minutes together every week, right? As part of class, just rolling through and talking through stuff and getting you songs checked off and giving you assessment, okay? Does that make sense? Great. So you will need to access this, and particularly these shared links to get you the videos that you need. Okay. What am I going back to? Course documents, course expectations. Okay. So I encourage you to bring mobile devices. You know, upon completion of the course, you'll have advanced your understanding and performance level on your selected instrument. Beginning students, by the end of 1 trimester, should have an understanding and proficiency in reading, performing from tab, this is guitar, reading, performing from tab, music notation and standard chords, chord charts. Beginning piano students should have an understanding and proficiency in basic rhythmic and melodic note ringing and chordal left-hand accompaniments. And more advanced students, our goal is that you add to your repertoire and your musical skills. You'll learn more music, learn more songs, and learn the skills that are associated with those songs. That's what we want, right? Any questions about that? Do y'all need to stretch? Everybody stand up. Just stand up, stretch for 30 seconds. Somebody asked me a question. Somebody's got to talk to me. Ask me a question. It can be anything. Music, class, anything. Oh, go ahead.
What's your favorite instrument?
Oh, that's not great because I didn't answer that to start. People should know about me. Here's my, just keep standing for a second. My background is this. Started the violin at age 6, which is a really fun story I'll tell you another time. Started taking piano lessons at age 8. I and my 2 sisters all ended up playing strings, violin, cello. My younger sister violin like me, and my older sister cello. We all took piano lessons. We had like the family string trio. We all played and sang together. We did a lot of that stuff. When I was in middle school, I picked up electric bass to play in the jazz band at my school. And when I was a junior in high school, and this sort of goes to this class, when I was a junior in high school, my parents got me, I was sort of fading on piano a little bit. I wasn't really, I just needed something a little bit more. And my parents got me lessons with a guy who was a music theory major in college. And he was a bit of a composer. And he taught me all about music theory as it applied to the piano. And it was like an incredible opening of my eyes to learn the nuts and bolts of how music worked, along with the skills of piano. And as a result of those lessons, I started writing songs. And just, kind of basic high school love songs, you know what I mean? And, but I became a little bit of a local celebrity because of that. At my high school, I played at talent shows, and everybody was amazed that I could write this music. And I would incorporate music into academic assignments, and I was just that guy at my school. Became a music major in college, and thought I was going to be a songwriter, to be honest. And I had some professors who kind of saw some skills in me that they said, you could really be a good teacher, and they guided me along those lines. And I ended up going into music education. And when I got my first apartment after college, I was used to having a piano around to write songs and sit down and play and sort of just get the day's emotions out, And I didn't have a piano in my first apartment, so I got a guitar. And I took all the skills I had from piano, violin, bass guitar, and I started applying them to guitar, and I learned how to play the guitar through that. And that was really important for me. And then really been more of a guitar player than a piano player for most of my adult life. And violin is my primary instrument. But I started teaching a course in piano and guitar like this one in 1992 at a different school. And I was there for 9 years teaching this course. And when I came here in 2001, I brought that course with me, but I sort of changed it to sort of be more the way I wanted it to be. But really, this class is an extension of my belief in what I call functional musicianship. And that is knowing how to play really well and understanding the scaffolding and nuts and bolts behind how music is built. And when those two things intersect, boom, that's when we become really functional, proficient, creative musicians. And so that's why the music theory, that's why the performance practice. And usually in this class, if you take the class for about 2 trimesters, the two intersect in a very profound way. Sometimes after 1 trimester, not so much, but always after 2, they really intersect. So that's a little bit about my background and how we come to this class. Anyone else have a question? Yeah.
Did you go to East Meck in the spring?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
Were you there?
I didn't take orchestra last year, but I have friends who did.
Yes, we had such a nice day. I was their adjudicator for their
The clinic thing.
yeah, I did a clinic there all day, and we had a really, really nice, I hope they had a good day.
I think they did.
Good, good. Okay, grab a seat, we'll finish up here, and we're very close. Class is over at 45, is that right? Yeah, so I have about 6 minutes. We'll see if I can just get you one last little bit of information, and then we'll get you on out of here. Are you excited about what we're about to do? Okay, good. It seems good, right? It's fair, and just like it's all about you being better. Let me just show you a little bit of nuts and bolts, because science and math kids are always interested in grades and grading. So here's course content I've really gone over. If you think there's playing, there's music theory, there's recitals, and there's a test. That's what we have, okay? Numerical averages into grades. Everybody in the humanities department uses a straight 90, 80, 60, 90, 80, 70, 60 grading. I also put pluses and minuses on grades. So like if you get a 99, you'll see an A plus. If you get a 91, you'll see an A minus. I'm pretty liberal. If you have an 89.6 at the end, I usually round that up to an A minus. I'm not a jerk about grades at all. You should always know about where you are in grading, and not so much because of a grade book, but because of how many songs you've achieved and how many theories you've turned in and what your grades are on the theories. And I'll explain all of this to you as we go. But the grading breakdown looks like this. The song assignments are 35% of your grade. Your music theory assignments are 20% of your grade. There's one test at the end of the term on the music theory that you've done throughout the term. That's 10% of your grade. 2 recitals, one at midterm, one at the end. Each of those is 10%. And class participation is 10%. It's a largely individualized class. So that's, are you coming in, are you doing your work, are you getting everything done? Please avoid the temptation, if you've got a chemistry test next block, avoid the temptation to study chemistry when you're in here. The one thing about class participation is I expect everybody to focus on music for the 50 minutes that you're in this class. It's not hard to understand, but this is our time that we block out for that. And then finally, I ask everyone to keep a notebook. My online students, your notebook will mostly be through Google Classroom, but I want everyone to get a flat notebook that has the little tabs for the 3-ring binders, the flat tabs that, you know what I mean? They fold over through the hole in the paper. And I'd like to have a folder on the sides. So it's one of those flat cardboard notebooks with the 3 tabs and the side folders as well. I don't want you to have a binder that has the hard rings in it, right?
Do you mean like a folder with the prongs in there?
The prongs, yeah. I want it to have the prongs for this class. Because when we're working in class, I want you always to have that folder beside you on your piano or by your guitar. And when I come around to everybody to hear you play, I grab that folder, I open it up, and I'll be able to see what we did the last time I sat down with you. I'll be able to see all your progress. You'll get that as we go. And those folders are available in the bookstore. I think they're about $1, right? You know what I'm talking about? Everybody understand? Just the flat ones, though. I don't want a big 3-ring binder for this class. Okay? Yeah.
By bookstores, you mean an actual bookstore or the
No,
school store?
I think they have it at the school store.
School store.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I have to check my folder and see if they have little prongs in there.
Yeah, that's what I want you to have. It just makes it easier for me. And it's all about me. Yeah.
Just a folder with prongs, is that what you're saying?
A folder with prongs. Let me, what do you
Just
have
like
here?
a normal folder.
This one's not quite it, because I would rather have the metal. I have documents that I want stuck in the middle, okay? And I have documents that I want stuck in these. So I want the one that has the little metal prongs in the middle, plus those 2 folders on the side. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you. And they're usually colorful, and like a red one and a yellow one. You know what I mean? I just want one. And then they're small, they fit in your backpack, and I would say that you'll probably just leave it in your backpack, and you'll use it when you're in class, okay? Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's the folder, that's 5% of your grade. And, okay. I will do my best to provide you a written midterm progress report at least 1 week prior to midterm and 1 week prior to the end of the trimester so that you know exactly what your grade is. You will not be surprised by your grade, and at any time you can say, hey, Mr. Laird, what's my grade in this class? And I'll be able to give you a pretty good idea. And you'll get a feel for it as we go. Just trust me on that. And we'll talk about song credits. Oh, I kind of glossed over something, and I didn't mean to gloss over it. So up there, the first one, the 35%. Song credits, the minimum goal is 10 song credits per trimester. Now, if you're a beginning player, I define what those song credits are, okay? You'll see it. It's 10 different assignments for guitar or piano that are 10. Most of you will do well more than 10. You might do 12, you might do 15, you might do 20. We don't stop you. You keep going, right? But that gives you a baseline. For my more advanced players, if you've got some experience, you and I will decide what a song credit is. If you're for instance, there's about 10 weeks in a trimester, and I'm thinking about 10 song credits a trimester. So if you're doing a piece that's probably a 2-week piece, then we'll decide that that piece is going to be 2 song credits, right? Or if you're doing something a little bit longer, for you have private lessons, you might be doing much longer pieces, and you might have a more kind of elongated set of goals. I'll just meet with you every week, and we'll take some notes, and each time I meet with you will be a song credit. You see what I mean? I don't want anybody, particularly my intermediate and advanced students, stressing out about, oh, I'm out of time, stressing about song credits, because we'll figure it out, okay? I'll go from there. Everybody have a good day, okay? We'll get you out. I did not mean to keep you a minute late. I apologize. Run, get out of here, go. See y'all.
And in addition to, sorry.
Let me just stop
Probably
that
still
recording.
Yeah.